Disney Speedstorm Season 7 launched just a couple of days ago, and that means we can expect a brand new roadmap outlining a couple new seasons worth of content for Disney Speedstorm any day now. And in today's video, I'm going to go over, based off of leaks, rumors, and just what I want to see in Disney Speedstorm, exactly what I think the new roadmap of Disney Speedstorm is going to contain. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. So I actually made my own fake roadmap for the purpose of this video, and starting things off, taking a look at my fake Season 8, we have Inside Out. I think Inside Out for Season 8 is all but confirmed. We've seen it in the files for months now. Inside Out 2 is coming out, I believe, around the same time that Season 8 is supposed to release. It just makes sense, and there's even been more leaks recently outlining all of the crew members and racers coming in Season 8. I think Season 8 is going to have 5 characters. It only makes sense to me. We'll get joy, sadness, disgust, anger, and fear. At least those are my predictions. I don't see anyone else being added. I mean, just the 5 emotions make sense. Disgust wasn't spotted in the files, but in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to leave disgust out. Their epic crew members are all slated to be Riley in different forms, so either happy Riley, sad Riley, angry Riley, scared Riley, or disgusted Riley will be all of their epic crew members. As for their classes and abilities, I've said it multiple times, but I don't really know. The emotions, like, they're very distinct, but they don't really align to classes super well in my opinion. Like, I guess like you can go just off of kind of vibes. Like joy's like speedster, fear and disgust seem kind of like trickster-ish, sadness seems like a defender, and anger seems like a brawler. Those are just the vibes I'm getting. And as for their abilities, I'm sure there could be a bunch of different stuff they could come up with. I mean, literally their emotions, they're in Riley's mind. There's a ton of imaginative stuff that they could throw into each of these characters. The only one I'm pretty certain of, I think anger will have something to do with fire in some way, shape, or form. That just makes sense to me. And then for my mid-season racers for Season 8, I am predicting Snow White and the Evil Queen. Snow White was spotted in the files a long time ago, and since then there hasn't been any elaboration on her, which is interesting, but I do think it makes sense that Snow White will come to the game eventually, and like, why not Season 8? Her and the Evil Queen would make a perfect mid-season duo. In my opinion, there's not really anyone else that needs to be added from the Snow White movie, so I can't see like a whole season for it. Yes, there is the print, yes, there is the dwarves, and maybe it could be cool if they only had like Doc as a racer and then all the dwarves as crew members, and maybe they could pull off a full season that way, or, you know, throw multiple dwarves into a single car. That could be cool, but personally I don't see it happening. I think Snow White is probably just going to be left as a mid-season franchise, and that's all we get. But moving on to Season 9, this season should be launching around August, I believe, and it's pretty unknown what Season 9 is going to be. We don't really have too many leaks. We have some stuff in the files, you know, like A Bug's Life was spotted in the files, Tron was spotted in the files, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Incredibles, all that kind of stuff. But my final prediction for Season 9 is The Incredibles. I think it's very likely we'll get this season in the game. And as for the 5 racers that I think should be included in this season, I think we should get Violet, Dash, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and then Frozone. This could easily go to like a 6 or 7 racer season, you know, like Jack's there. I don't think he should be a racer though. Same thing with Edna, but the 2 main contenders for the 5th and possibly 6th racer would be Frozone and Syndrome. I don't think we'll get a 6 racer season, but I'd be very surprised if we only get 4. I'd very much like to see Frozone in game. I think he'd be very fun. Syndrome would also be cool, but I think I would just prefer, me personally, I'd prefer Frozone over Syndrome. As for their classes and epic crew members, Dash has got to be a speedster. Like if Dash gets added to the game and he's not a speedster, I don't even know at that point. Violet, in my opinion, should be a trickster, I think, or a defender, and then Mrs. Incredible should be whatever she is not. I think Mr. Incredible should be a brawler, and then Frozone could be a lot of different classes. You know, I think speedster or defender would fit best for Frozone, in my opinion, because, you know, he protects the family, he's pretty fast, it makes sense in my opinion. And as for the mid-season characters of this theoretical season 9 incredible season, I think Will Turner and Davy Jones would fit very well. They're not really like tied thematically to the Incredibles or anything like that. But just the fact that we have a Pirates of the Caribbean collection in the game, and Will Turner and Davy Jones are not crew members, I think they're bound to come to the game at some point, and I would love to see them. Captain Barbossa's another mid-season character that I think would fit very well in the Pirates collection, and there is no Captain Barbossa crew member either. However, I would personally prefer Will Turner and Davy Jones. Will Turner's definitely got to come, and then choosing between Davy Jones and Barbossa, I like Davy Jones. Like, Barbossa is a cool character, don't get me wrong, but Davy Jones is just, he's so sick, and I really want to see him in-game at some point, and win better than Season 9. As for their classes and abilities, obviously Davy Jones has got to be using his tentacles in some way, shape, or form. And honestly, I don't even know for their classes. I could see it going a lot of different ways. But I definitely want to see an expansion to the Pirates of the Caribbean collection at some point. Maybe it'll happen when that new rumored reboot of the Pirates of the Caribbean series comes out. Maybe then we'll get an expansion, but I'm fingers crossed that it's going to be coming out sooner. As for my Season 10 predictions, hopefully if everything goes well, we don't get too many delays or whatever, Season 10 should be launching sometime in October. And what better season in October than The Nightmare Before Christmas? The Nightmare Before Christmas has been talked about for so long now, and it's been in the files for equally as long. We even saw a leak in-game of some of the racer models for the Nightmare Before Christmas collection, and it's gotta be coming this Halloween season. Like, there's no way it isn't. I will be shocked if it comes any sooner or later than around this holiday season. And the 4 racers, we've already seen them in the files and in-game. Jack, Sally, Oogie Boogie, and Dr. Finkelstein. As for their classes, I don't really know. Oogie Boogie, I think, should be a trickster. That just makes sense to me. Dr. Finkelstein, he could also be a trickster too. They're both, like, they're all kind of creepy. They're all kind of giving off trickster vibes, but Jack as a speedster or defender would be very nice. Sally, again, I really see them all as tricksters, I guess because they're all just kind of like creepy characters. But I don't know, I'm really excited for Oogie Boogie to come to the game, hopefully this holiday season. I really want to drive as Oogie Boogie, and fingers crossed he's a character with a voice actor. Or hopefully by the time October rolls around, they decide to add voice acting back to every character in the game. That would definitely be greatly appreciated. But I really hope Oogie Boogie's iconic voice is not left out of this season. And as for the 2 mid-season characters, I think Maleficent and Aurora fit well, mostly because it's Halloween and Maleficent should definitely come to the game sooner than later. They could add a different villain as well, but I think it would be weird to add like Maleficent and Cruella, because then like you'd have to add Aurora later on. I think it would just make better sense to add Maleficent and Aurora together and make a new Sleeping Beauty collection, because again, I don't know if Sleeping Beauty needs to be a full season. Yes, we have like Prince Philip, and there's really no other super iconic characters in Sleeping Beauty. But I think Maleficent and Aurora is all you need, and Halloween's perfect because then you can spotlight Maleficent and include her in a bunch of Halloween events and stuff like that, which would just be really fun, and it would definitely capture the Halloween vibes perfectly, in my opinion. And then finally, my last season prediction, Season 11. This will be around December. Now, full disclosure, this season prediction is not based off of anything. It's not based off of leaks or big rumors. This season, I just decided, let's have some fun with it. This is what I want to see for Season 11 of Disney Speedstorm, my kind of ideal season. We have Winnie the Pooh. The 4 racers featured will be Winnie, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore, which just makes sense. The track will be the 100 Acre Woods. It'll be gorgeous. These racers will be fun and cute. I really want Winnie the Pooh in the game. And then the mid-season racers, I have been begging Moana and Maui. I really want an entire Moana-themed season, and I do think it could happen despite a lot of people disagreeing with me. I think they could totally add, Tafiti as a shrunken down character. I think that would be sick. You could maybe squeeze Tamatoa in a car, or Chief Tui, or Grandma Tala, or when Moana 2 comes out, any of the characters in there. You could make a whole Moana season, but if they're forced to be mid-season characters, I would like them sooner than later. And a Winnie the Pooh season would just be great. I don't know what classes these characters would be. I don't know if there's enough crew members for them all to get epic crew members and still have a bunch left over. I'm sure they could come up with something. But I really want a Winnie the Pooh season. It would be so much fun. I would play as Tigger constantly. I really hope he comes to the game. But yeah, that is my entire roadmap. You can see it right here. Season 8, Inside Out, Season 9, The Incredibles, Season 10, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Season 11, Winnie the Pooh. That is my predictions. We'll see how accurate this is when the actual roadmap comes out. And just to note, Season 11 will not be included on the roadmap. I believed when AJ was talking about it, our wonderful community manager, he said that it would only include up until Season 10, I believe. So when the next roadmap for Disney Speedstorm comes out, I would not expect it to be this long. But yeah, hopefully we get something along these lines. Inside Out, Incredibles, Nightmare Before Christmas. Fingers crossed for Moana or Winnie the Pooh to have some kind of inclusion in the next roadmap. But let me know your predictions for the next roadmap in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think is going to come to the game? What do you want to come to the game on the next roadmap? It's going to be really exciting when it actually does drop. And again, remember to leave a like and subscribe because I'm going to be covering it as soon as it does come out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Peace out.